Witnessing power often means witnessing the effects of power. We may not always see the actual power with our own eyes, but we can know its presence by how it affects all the things around it. We may not see electricity, but we see a light bulb light up. We may not see the wind, but we see the devastating effects it can have in nature. Experiencing power means seeing something or someone act in a way that can only be explained by the presence of an outside force. The Bible contains a remarkable example of this in Paul. As Saul, he spent his life persecuting the church. The power of God not only stopped him from doing this, it empowered him to be one of the most passionate leaders for the very cause with which he was against. The conversion and drive of Paul could only be explained by the work of something far greater than himself. Despite the horrors that Paul had committed against God's church, God changed his heart and transformed him into a mighty servant. A life that was centered on hate was now centered on the love of God. This was the power of the gospel for salvation. This is the power at work in the life of every believer, to experience God change our lives and to empower us to reach the world in His name. One of the things that I love about our church is that it's a church of sending. It's a church that raises up leaders to go into all nations doing ministry. It's so cool to me to see how the power of God works through the church in individuals' lives. As I look back, since I've been at CrossPointe, I've seen God do amazing things in my life. He sovereignly drew me to Himself with a powerful force that I didn't want to resist. He came into my life and softened up my hardened heart. But one of the most beautiful things about the promise of salvation is that it doesn't just end with God freeing us from the punishment of sin. He powerfully worked in me to equip me to do the work of His ministry. I now have the opportunity to be sent out from CrossPointe. I'll serve as the youth pastor and some different roles at Forester Community Church in Leesburg, Georgia. I know that God will continually, powerfully work in my life and in your life to equip us for the work that He has planned. I'm excited to see what that is.